Love is in the air. Hello, hello. Almost Shabbat Shalom. Love is in the air. Da, 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 da. Hello, hello, everyone. Let's see who comes up. This is look at that. This is a wonderful day, beautiful day. This week had so many things going on. Let's wait until somebody else comes up. All right. So, hello, hello, hello. It never gets old. This thing never gets old. Never gets old. Love never gets old, right? Yeah. Different faces to love. You know well, hello, whoever is here. Hello, hello. This weekend is really about love. This whole week, this whole 2 weeks. I mean, when isn't it, right? But when things come down, we can talk about things in uh, in abstract, and we can talk about things that are funneling down, that are funneling towards that that theme or that area. And these last 2 weeks with Lionsgate and the holiday of love, the 15th of the month of Av in the Jewish calendar today, which is the month of love, of connection, of energies that are coming down, of energies that are allowing us to to expand and to come from a place of love and to come from a place of acceptance and recognizing those that are those feelings and those emotions that are lingering within us, but we don't know how to say that. Hello, Raida. Hello, hello. Almost Shabbat Shalom. Lovely to have you here. Thank you for being here. I'm in Redondo. This is the pier, and that is the beach. The beach never gets old. And so so we are in a very interesting time, and every year it happens again, and every year we are in a different construct within ourselves. So everything that we talk about, everything that I talk about, everything that we experience, every energy that we experience, you say, well, so next year is going to be the same thing. Well, next year is going to summon these energies, but with the only difference is that we are in a different space. We are in a different place. Just let me know also if you're here, how is the audio? If you hear it well, if you don't hear it well, is it too windy or too? Yeah. So we can talk about the same things technically, same ideas, but every time that we come to these points, we are in a different space. So if we take a year time, and again, time is important here on this level, on this field, in this plane, then we are coming into the same point, but we're coming into the same point in a different level, in a different spiritual level, which translates to a different emotion level, which translates to a different physical level. And meaning by that meaning, how do we manifest, or how do we experience, or how do we express physically in our day-to-day what we are experiencing every single time? And so we had Lionsgate last week, Monday. That was a big channeling, a big opportunity to shift and to own what we're really connected with or to, aside from an external influence. How are we finding the peace within ourselves? How are we commit to the peace within ourselves? We commit to being in an authentic place as much as possible at that particular time, because authenticity can reflect in each period differently. And we can say one time we can say I'm authentic today, and then next year I say, oh, I'm authentic now, not different, not like I was last year. So how do we express that physically? And today we had a full moon, and we had in the Jewish holiday, we had Tisha B'Av, which is the 9th of Av, the day where the second Jewish temple was destructed, and the tikkun, the quote-unquote correction, but not correction because something is broken, but correction because something needs to be ascended. So we are to be ascended. So this is really what ultimately we are here to ascend, to to shift the way that we roll our ball, right? It's like those old pinball machines. If you remember in the 80s and 70s, there were those pinball machines. Every so often, the ball would get stuck, and we had to kick to nudge that machine so it'll flow in its path. And this is similar to that. So this weekend also, today is actually also the 15th month of Av, the what is considered to be the love holiday of love. Somebody told me earlier today, oh, it's like Valentine's Day. I said, no, that is a Hallmark thing. That is a whole different thing. But this is different because there are different energetic influences and energetic paths and channels that are open to allow us, to give us the opportunity to take that opportunity. So this is also where in Kabbalah it talks about how in this day, when the person comes down, the soul splits. The soul splits. So as a single person, we are whole in our singularity, but really we are half in our creation way, because the whole, just like the yin yang, right? The drawing and the yin yang, right? You can't be only with a half. You can't have one without the other. So when we both come together, when people come together, when a couple comes together, when love happens, and we'll talk about how that translates, but love happens, then we are whole. So when the soul comes down, we split, and it is in our best interest to find that person or that soul that is connected, so we can come and connect with that soul on so many levels. Oh, Inbal, hello. Oh, thank you for the confirmation. Shabbat Shalom. Sending you much love, and so happy that you are here. Wonderful to have you. So many hugs. So we are in this holiday of love. So when the soul comes down, the soul splits, and we are here to, part of our thing, aside from ascending our own spiritual being, ascending our own soul, it is also to find our second part, the person that we can co-create and complete that circle. So there are many ways in how that can happen, and we can talk about this all day and all night. But there are a few pointers that I want to touch about. So we'll start with this portion of the week. This portion of the week on the Torah week, Vayetchanan. I'll talk about this particular word in a second. Moses is still talking to the Israelites before he is departing the physical world, and keeps telling them about all the things and repeating them in the Ten Commandments and just repeating everything to the Israelites, just as a last recap. You know, like when you're watching a series on TV and there is the recap from all these series, kind of shows you the highlights, so you can pay attention to it. It's the same thing. So we have kind of a recap of all the journeys, a recap of the actions last time, recap of those actions that were not in favor of Israel, and the way that Moses did that was in hinting. So it's not that this week is different than other week, and the other week is different than the 2 weeks before that. Is that everything comes together. All these portions, all these themes, whether it is dealing with our self-esteem, whether it is dealing with anger, with coming out to place of love, they're all connected. It's not singular. It's not, and yet it can stand alone. So Moses is telling them all these things, and he's talking from a place of hinting, because he comes from a place of love. So he's not talking to them in a harsh way, but he's kind of reminding them. So you remember what happened there? Okay. You remember what happened there? Okay. We can move on. As long as you remember, okay, we can move on. So this is like hints. And the sages are saying, if you can talk in hints, rather than direct, and that is especially when we want to point out something to somebody, or to tell somebody how we didn't appreciate how they were, or how they talked, or how they behaved, or what they did. It's the first to start with a hint, because it could if we don't start with a hint, it many times will trigger, can and may trigger, um, just like a snowball reactions of feelings and of resentment. And so he tells them that because of their respect, because he respects them, and he learned that from Jacob. So this portion, he's starting with the word Vaitchanan, and he's telling the Israelites, I begged God to let me in, because ultimately, Moses was with them throughout the desert, but because of certain things that he did, and one thing that he did not obey, he was told, you're not going to go into Israel, you're going to die in the desert. And he said he begged. Now, the word beg in English, as I said, in Hebrew is like is more of an essence language, that, like, for example, animals are named based on their quality, like a dog, all heart in Hebrew, and so forth. And there are talks on my YouTube channel that I talk about these associations, and these associations of names to the animals. And so he's saying, and I'll beg. But in Hebrew, the word va'etchanan, chanan comes from the concept of chinam, free. And many it talks about the sages, that all the time when the sages have been praying and been asking things from God, they have been asking it for free. They haven't been coming and negotiating. He says, look, God, the other day I helped this homeless person, so I should get it. That's kind of an egoic way of being in that place. It's like negotiating with the universe, or negotiating with God. And the word beg, leitchanen, comes from the word, I'm asking of you to grant me this wish, or I'm asking of you to grant me this desire, or this want to be in a certain place. I'm asking you for free. I'm not asking you because I deserve it. And when we come from that place of I deserve, then it's starting to dig into the reserves of what we have, and it's kind of going on different waves. So so really, this is a place of while I begged, I didn't receive. But it doesn't matter. He doesn't bring his own doings. Look, I did this for the Israelites. I followed your words to the T. I did this. I did this. Please give me that now. No, he says, please give me that for free. Don't count anything I've done. I'm just asking you to as compassion, as a gesture, as any of this. And this is a teaching, a lesson for us, especially in relationships. Many times, uh, how many times have you experienced where your partner, or somebody you care for, somebody you love, says, you don't remember I did this to you, now you're denying me this and this, right? That goes into the category of, I'm holding grudge because you didn't give me one thing, so I'm going to mention it to you so you remember, and now I will get what I deserve. This is really thinking about me, or about the person who is saying is thinking about themselves, because it is not about who the person that is standing in front of them, but what I deserve, what I want. There is many times I talk about the Venn diagram, the two circles, right, that come together. Two circles that come together. This is also a construct of the tree of life, where you have many circles, or the Olympic signs, where you have the circles. And this is a great lesson. I always love to bring this because it's so accurate. There are three ways in being in a relationship, and being in a person that we care for. The two circles. There is one that can maybe overpower the other story. So each circle is us. Each circle is a whole. There is one way of overpowering the other person. So one person is give me, or taking, and the other person continue to give. There is the other way around, where the other person does the same thing. And then there is the co-creation, the coming together and co-creating something. And the sages are talking about the three ways in relation to what I was just talking about, the diagram, the two circles. There are three ways. There is a person that says what's mine is yours, and what yours is yours. There's a person who says that what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. And then there is a person that says, oh, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. So there are three kind of approaches to that. And so what is a person called when they say what's mine is yours and what's yours is yours? They call him a chassid, somebody who is righteous, somebody who is really caring for the other person. Meaning that I'm going to love you. Doesn't matter how you are. Doesn't matter who you are. Whether you return this to me in the way that I want it, in the way that I don't want it. You return this to me. Doesn't matter. I'm going to love you exactly how you are, with all your quirks and all your this and all your that. I'm just going to love you the way that you are. And it doesn't matter if you return. I'm just going to love you. Usually we would find these. Usually we would find this between a mother to a child or a parent to a child. And I say mother to a child more because the relationship of a mother to a child is way more complex and more strong than a father to a child. And every situation is a different. Every situation is different, and not everything is the same. But that is from creation. That is nature. The mother, the woman, is the minister of interior, if you will. Takes care of the house. It takes care of everything. Takes care of the kids. Takes care of the husband. Takes care of everybody. And the man is by nature is more of foreign minister, meaning outside. Everything is external with male, with the masculine. Everything is external. So you will ask a guy, what like you have a couple comes home from work. They both come home from work at the end of the day. 3 o'clock they come from work, both of them. At 4 o'clock the children are coming home. What do you think the first thing that the woman's thoughts are about when she comes home at 3 o'clock or after a day of work? Well, what do you mean? I have this to do. I have to prepare the food. The kids are coming. I have to take care of the kids, and I have to take the kids to their class. I have to clean the house. I have laundry from the morning I started in. And what does the man want usually after he comes back from work? I just had a long day of work. I have a headache. I just want a cup of coffee, something to eat. I want to go relax. It's completely different things, right? So there is this concept of giving. Doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what you do. I'm going to love you the way that you are. And there is the other way of what's mine, what's yours, mine, right? That's kind of an obvious. This is somebody who is really, I don't care how you're going to do this. Do it my way only my way, because I can't handle it any other way. That's somebody that somebody that thinks only about themselves. It's not somebody that we really want to be near. There is a third way that says mine is mine, yours is yours. Even then, the sages are saying this is a person you're trying is not really loving you. Why? Because the reason that person said what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours, the reason the person says what's yours is yours is because he wants you to have what you have, not because he cares or she cares about you, but because they want to preserve their own. So here, yours is yours. Whatever is yours, keep it, as long as I get to keep mine, right? So those are the three examples. But then there is the co-creation, where we both come as whole. We both learned or learning together from our wounds, from our choices that we've made in the past that did not serve us well and brought us again to where we are. And then when we come whole, when we are true to what we want and how we want to be and how we want to be with ourselves, which will lead to how we are with others, then when we are whole, we can really be confident in who we are as whole. And who, if you will notice, who is that person that usually gives and I want to love you, doesn't matter how you are. The person that is really complete within themselves. The person who doesn't have doubts about what they want. This is what I want. I'm happy here, and I'm happy with my life. I'm happy with how I am. I'm happy with how I can be. Therefore, I'm going to accept you the way that you are, because the way that you are does not threaten my existence. The way that you are, if somebody is very vocal and is outgoing and talks all the time to everybody, and the other person is more shy or more doesn't talk to many people all the time, or is not an outgoing person, they're confident in who they are. They can allow that person, or vice versa, to be how they are with who they are. Right? Thank you very much. That was a good. So we have that now. So we're talking. I'm talking about today about the love, the day of love, the energetic love, the energy that comes down, the frequency that comes down. It's a frequency. It's just like our skin has a frequency. When I work with sound, we're working all about our relationships through sound, through what kind of frequency I have within me, what kind of frequency I inhabit, what level of frequency I inhabit. And what I this last point is really important because I see this all the time. I've been to that movie. I've seen this. I've seen this on me. I've seen this on clients. I've seen this on friends. Usually, when people meet, there is this, there is there are the splashes, there are the fireworks. Everything is very nice. Get together, come together, papim, papam, papam. I love you, therefore I am doing this for you. So you will hear, why are you doing this? You just guys met, or you met a month ago, you met 6 months ago, you met a year ago, whatever. Why are you doing this for this person? Oh, because I love him so much, I want to give this to him. Fisherman, does a fisherman loves the fish? A fisherman loves what the fish tastes to him after he takes off the fish from the water, right? From the water, chops him and eats him. So the fisher loves the fish. The fisherman loves the taste that the fish gives to him. It's nice. I like that. So the person, the fisherman, loves himself, right? And that's many times the case in relationships when we meet. I do this because I love him. I do this because I want him. I love him. So with that person is doing because that person loves what the other person is giving her to feel. So let's say if we're talking about a woman and a man, a woman does for this guy because she loves him. She does for him because she loves what he makes her feel. He makes her feel important. He gives her. He takes her. He listens to her. Right? She loves what he makes her feel. So it's really kind of. But really, what the true place of being in that space of love is, because I give you, I love you. Because I give you, because I do this for you, I love you. Because I do this for you, you are embedded within me. So I recognize you in me, and therefore I love you. Right? So there are when two people meet, what happens? I want to describe it as something, and be with me here. Be creatively illustrated with me here. People meet as like, let's do this like this. So let's say, you see how the the fist here, not about the fist, just about the hand, right? This thing here fits into here, right? Okay, works well. We always meet through our wounds. This is something that I've learned, and I recognize that we always meet through our wounds. And what is that? What does that mean? So, for example, If we take a woman and a man, there is a woman that she is used to. She was taken care of all her life. All her life was taken care of. All her life things were done for her. People did this for her. People did that for her. She didn't never really had to work hard. She received everything. The relationships that she had were relationships that everybody wanted to give her and so forth. Now, where is that wound of receiving all the time and feeling that I need to receive all the time? Where is that coming from? It comes from growing up in a place where everything was done for that woman, for that lady. Everything was done for her. So also when she was a kid, even arguments, even fights with kids, the mom or the father, the parents were all the time interfering and created this greenhouse for her to live comfortably. So she grew up expecting all the time to receive, to receive, to receive, and therefore the sense of maybe sometimes self-sufficient or maybe sometimes self-reliance doesn't really exist because it was always in a mode of receiving, receiving, receiving. On the other hand, there is the man where he always loves to give, but gives in a way that is beyond way beyond what is expected. For example, you sit in a room, you're going to a party, there are a bunch of friends, everybody's nicely sitting, and a glass drops on the other side of the room. Who is the first one to run to fix that? Is that guy, right? Because that is his nature always to give and to give and to give and to cancel himself to give. Now, love, the word love, ahava, ani hava, means I give, right? That's the translation of the word ahava, I give. But that place of I give comes from a harmonious place, from a balanced place, not from a place of a want. So the guy can say, well, I'm here, I'm giving, I'm giving, I'm giving. What do you mean it's not love? It's not. It is an expression of what you understand, but it comes because it comes from a wound, because you were neglected, you were not taken care of. You all the time were told when you were a kid that you're not good enough, so you have to do over, so you can compensate, right? So you can compensate, so you do more and you do more, so you will be seen. Now we all want to be seen. It's in our DNA. It's embedded in us. We all want to be connected. We all want to be part of. We all want to belong. This is in our DNA. Now take the wounds that we come with, and that amplifies everything 100 times more. So he gives because it comes from his wound. So he gives, he gives, he gives, he gives, he gives. And he's been all the time in relationships where women have been taking or other people have been taking. And not just women in relationships, but that also is reflected in work, in social events. It's not only in a romantic relationship. So it comes from a place of wound. Now, comes this guy, comes this woman, or the other one, comes this man, comes this woman, and they come, oh, we fit. How nice. We have great chemistry. He loves to give, I like to receive. Oh, this is perfect, right? It's not going to last very long because eventually, over time, what happens if both people now, when we meet through our wounds and we recognize the wounds, we're on the same energetic level, we're on the same frequency because we're meeting, and that wound is present. That wound comes up. So we're on the same level. Now, over time, everybody goes through experiences. Shifts happen. Energies shift. People shift their disposition and the way that they are in life. Some people learn and they grow, and their spirituality and their mindfulness expands. And the other person is not, stays in the same place. Oh, I want to receive. The other person grows and he sees that the place he is giving comes from a place of a wound, comes from a place of recognizing that there was a lack. And the reason that the guy was giving and giving and giving is because he thought it was not enough. And he thought he needs to prove and he needs to go beyond himself to give. It could happen the other way around. I just picked this now like that. So he recognized, say, you know what, I recognize that I've been, and by doing so, by giving and by doing extra, the guy was actually enabling the woman to stay in her wound and to stay in her, give me what's yours is mine, give me. Right, but we fit, right? I mean, we were fitting great, right? I mean, what happened? Well, one person grows. So what happens then? Then there is a distance between the two people, and there is a distance between the two people, and we don't understand how we got here. How did we get here? What happened? What did you do wrong? What did I do wrong? Nobody, many times, nobody did wrong. We get into this anger and into this blame. Oh, you were taking from me. Oh, you took from me. Because there are other things that are not resolved. You may have recognized that you were giving from a place of a wound, but now there is some other thing. There are other levels. And this is what I start talking at the beginning. You know, when we come back at the end of the year, we come to the same thing, the same time, the same portions of the week. We resolved that place of giving more and more and more from a place that makes me empty, or makes us empty. Now we have a different issue. Because we always keep learning. We never stop learning. Once we're done with this work on earth, we're gone. Because our sole purpose coming here has achieved its goal. And we've achieved our goal on a soul level, and then we leave. And then we live in different ways, you know. A million ways to perish, right? So at least from this plane. And then it goes into, so when a couple separates, so there is many times, not all the time, but there are times, let's put it this way, there are times where one person will feel, oh, you've done this to me, you've done this to me, you did it on purpose, you did not do it on purpose. All these are different fears. But the first one is the recognition that I've done something, or I've given from a place of a wound. Same thing the other person, the person that's received, may recognize, you know what? I was always taking. I was always receiving. Yeah? Recognize, oh, you know, this was a place of a wound, a place of not self-sufficiency, not self-reliance. You know, so now there are two ways to do that, right? So if one person goes up and spiritually and understanding, there are two ways to do that. You can wait for the person. You can just by being how you are, you emit energies and frequencies to the person who is still on this level. And many times, that person that stayed on this level doesn't recognize that. So there is a split. And on this day, where on this time of energetic influence, where this is happening, when a couple, although if they are soulmates, it doesn't mean that soulmates will always be able to be together. Also, if they meet. Also, if they meet in this lifetime, they may not be together because they're on a different frequency. They're on a different level. So if they are not on the same level, and it's time for that person to mate or to meet or to get together, God and the universe rearrange things. Things are rearranged to find somebody who is on that energetic level, so both of them can continue and grow. Because many times what will happen, there will be anger. Because if one person is here and the other person is here, and they don't see eye to eye, and there are still fears and all kind of unsettled emotions, then it's always going to be next to one another, and there are all kind of issues. Let me see who. Oh, Gina. Hello, Gina. Thank you, Iris. Hello, Iris. Shabbat Shalom. Lovely to see you here. Today is the full moon. Exactly. Manifestations. Amen. Amen. Full moon. Yes, full moon. And we started the manifestation already. Manifestations is all the time. We can manifest all the time. Manifestation started also from last week. How are we releasing? Coming to this Lion's Gate, which was really, really the opening of really manifestation of shifting things as they are to where we want them to be. To where we want them to be. The thing for manifestation, and this I work through sound and different tools. The thing to manifestation, yes, it is the thought, yes, it is the word, But here is the intention. Yes, it is the intention. But here's the thing. If that person that was, let's say, giving all the time from a place of a wound, right? But they intend to give and they want to give the person, they have an intention and they want to manifest, but they're coming from an unhealed place. Many times what we manifest is not what is good for us. You know, God says, you know, you really want that? I mean, this is not really for you, but you really, really, really want it? Here, take it. And many times it doesn't work because we're not connected. We're not connected to our emotional and to our spiritual way, to our spiritual peace, to our spiritual order. And this is one of the most marvelous things, is to find our lovable order. To find our lovable order. Thank you, Gina. This was a great question. To find our lovable order. What is our lovable order? All right. So in Judaism, everything starts from the evening. Every day doesn't start in the morning, but starts in the evening. Starts when the sun sets until the next sunset the next day. In the creation, so there was the first day, there was the second day, and it always started with an evening and a morning. Why? In Hebrew, evening, erev, comes from the words erbuvia, mess, chaos. Nothing can happen in chaos. But from the chaos can emerge the shining and rising star. Right? And when does that rising star emerges? In the boker, in the morning. Boker in Hebrew comes from the word order. Everything is organized. At night we don't see stuff. We can see clearly. Not everything is visible. So it's kind of like a mess. It's like a chaotic mess in life, just like in room. And in the morning, when there is boker, when there is morning, it comes from the word order. Everything is order. I can see everything. Everything is in its place. The birds are singing, although I hear many birds at night as well. But there is the morning, there is the order. So when we come to this place where we recognize what is within us, what works with us, what works for us, what things can we do to perfect our presence, to be happy in where we are, then we have an order because, this is what I love, this is what I don't want. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be experienced I don't want to experience these energies or this group of people or group of people that are condescending and bullies. We talk about bullies so many times. I don't want to be with the bullies. I don't want to be with this group of people because this group of people are not good for my growth. And maybe this person is doing that. Everybody living their life, it's okay, but I don't have to be part of it, right? But when I know where I am, I know what I want, I know what I desire, I know what is good for the other that I can do, and I'm happily doing that. Really happy. I mean, think about when you give things to somebody. How do you feel? How do you feel when you give somebody? How do you feel when you help somebody? There is this feeling of expansion in the heart, expansion in the chest. That's natural. That's the nature of things. It's like working in the ground. When you work in the soil releases toxins, or they're not really toxins, but they're like almost listen, the words skip in my head, but releases these chemicals, organic chemicals that are making us feel good, and that's why you see that people are working the people that are working in the land with their hands are really happy. They're really content. Why? Because it's the ground that is creating this. So when we are in this place and we give, we feel this greatness, we feel this expansion. But when we are in a place of a wound, we give, and then we doubt, and then we question. And then, but I gave, but why is he doing so? I just gave him this. Why is he behaving like that? Or why is it? It's always conditional. If there is a condition in anything, you might want to check where you are. So in this day of coming together, in this day of love, in this day of recognizing what is good for you and what is good for you so it can be good for the others, I encourage you, I encourage me, I encourage all of us to find this spot, that sweet spot. You know, last thing I would say, the famous sentence, "Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha." In English, it translates as "love thy neighbor as yourself," and so forth. In Hebrew, it doesn't say it that way. It says, "Love to your neighbor." A neighbor can be anybody. Love to your neighbor as you wish love to yourself. The good that I want for me, I wish for you. That is why it's easy to express love to somebody. Also, if you are not in 100% place, because we won't be in 100% place. Otherwise, we'll be gone from here. We'll be done. So no one is at 100%. We're still here to do work, and if we are still here, that means that we still have work to do. Period. Anybody. If we're still here, we still have work to do on ourselves or for the others, or we have star seeds that are doing missions, or we have ETs that are doing here to do missions. I'm talking about our soul level. If we are here, then we have more work to do. So love to your other person. Wish for the other person the best, just like you wish for yourself in the same way that you wish for yourself. Compassion, kindness, these are the things that bring us together and unite us. And, and that is explosion. I'm not going to everything. Anyway, beach, airplanes, all this kind of good stuff. So, Shabbat Shalom, love, much love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.